Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Islamic Calling Podcast. In today's video, inshallah, we will discuss feminism and how toxic feminism can be. So, a few days ago, this YouTube channel called Kookielit made a video about a very popular K-pop female group called Aespa. Recently, they went to a school, a all-boys school, and after they went there, many of their fans started speculating that they were harassed. Right? They were harassed or is harassed. You can see the word on the screen. So I clicked the video, and I realized that this is completely false. In this video, I'll be showing you guys how deceptive feminists can be and how they use a normal situation and many times make false claims or exaggerate the situation to fit their agenda. Okay? So I don't want to blame her and say that she's doing it on purpose, because I think a lot of her arguments are completely emotional, and not really logical. But I do think that she's making some really fallacious and bad arguments that needs to be called out. And so, let's get started and let's take a look at the first point that I want to mention, which is that feminists often make false accusation against men or exaggerate a situation to serve their propaganda. So let's take a look at the video that she made, a portion of her video, and then I'll make my comment, inshallah.
After Aespa attended Coachella, SM Entertainment didn't waste any time giving them another schedule. The headlines of Aespa performing at Gyeongbok High School came out on April 29th, but this performance was a bit expected. It's SM's tradition, and they are now truly SM idols. And this should have been a wonderful moment for them, but it was nothing like that. On May 2nd, netizens who were present at the school posted pictures of what the situation was like before their performance, and it truly was horrific to see. It turns out that when they were making their way to the performance, the members were completely surrounded by male students of the school who were dangerously close, touching the girls and reaching for them.
First of all, I couldn't find any picture of the schoolboys touching the Aespa members. The only pictures I could find only showed them in a crowded area. Now obviously when you are in a crowded area, touching is gonna happen whether you like it or not. Anyone who says otherwise is an idiot who has never been in a crowded area. If there is some isolated pic of them touching the girls outside of a crowd, I would like to see it. Either way, the only thing I could find is these unknown people on the internet or netizens claiming they saw they were touched. I'm guessing this is what she meant, so let's deal with that.
Now, first of all, she says that some netizens said that these boys were touching them, right? A netizen is someone who is on the internet, okay? So here she's committing the appeal to anonymous authority fallacy. So when you cite a witness and that witness is unknown, then in that case that argument can be fallacious. For example, here she is saying that I heard netizens say Aespa members were touched. Conclusion, therefore Aespa members were touched. First of all, who the hell are these netizens? Well, we have no way of knowing who these netizens are. I mean, it could be just a bunch of people lying, right? So we have no way of telling. We have no way of verifying or falsifying this information. So we have no reason to trust it, right? So that's point number one. This incident is already on shaky grounds, right? Second of all, she said that in her title that Aespa members were harassed. Now, even if for the sake of argument, I agree that these boys, they touched them, touching someone is not harassment, by the way. For example, if you see a celebrity, you can touch them to get their attention so that you can get their autograph or to take a selfie with them. It could be one of those situations, right? It could be that this supposed netizen saw that and got the wrong idea, right? So in the case of harassment, you need to prove two things. One, you need to prove that these boys had the intention of harassing them. And two, you need to prove that the girls were actually harassed. None of these two things are proven. There's no proof for any of this, okay? First of all, there's no evidence that the boys were trying to harass them. Secondly, there's no evidence that the girls were harassed, because the girls never complained about this. They never said anything. I mean, if this is the case that they were harassed or whatever, they would have come out. They would have went to their agency, and their agents would have sued them. Okay, so this is not a joke. I mean, they have they work for big companies, big media companies. I mean, do you honestly think that they're just gonna stand by and let this happen? Of course not. So it's just ridiculous to like accuse them of harassment. So you can clearly see that she's basically taking a very normal situation of like fan meeting and like celebrity meeting a celebrity and taking pictures with them and turning it into some kind of harassment type situation. Okay, and this is how many feminists distort. First of all, they make false claims, and if they're not making false claims, they're exaggerating the situation. Now, the second point that I want to highlight is authorization. So one thing you'll notice with feminists is that they either hate men or they just don't like them. They don't like us.
These girls were thrown in the middle of a crowd full of teen boys with no security and only holding each other's hands to get through.
She says that the girls were thrown in the middle of teen boys. Look at her language. She's acting as if like these teen boys are some kind of zombies or something. This is absurd. I mean, just because they're teen boys doesn't mean like they're gonna eat them or whatever, right? Clearly, I mean, the girls themselves didn't complain about any of this. So, and yeah, she's acting like they're like these boys were like there to try to like kill them or like kidnap them or whatever. And this is how many feminists often otherize men. They like talk about us as if like we're some kind of animal or like as if like we are either we're stupid or we are evil. Okay, if you like follow feminist ideology, that's the conclusion. That's the only conclusion you can come to. Okay, either we're evil or we're stupid. Okay, we're evil because we're letting all these oppression against women play out, and we're supporting it. Right? Then we're evil, and we're stupid because all this oppression is happening and it's affecting us as well, and we're not realizing it. Right? So if you're a man, you're either stupid or you're evil. That's the only options that like they have. And this is what I'm talking about. They always otherize men. They always like to make it seem like men are just trying to hurt women. Now, the third thing that I want to discuss is the fake outrage.
Edison, who was present at the event, shared their experience, saying Ning Ning even blocked the Kyungbok High School students because they put their phones up to take selfies.
And again, like, of course, like if you see a celebrity, you want to take like pictures with them. So this is normal. Like, any famous person will like face this. So this is not something like this is not harassment. Okay. So she's saying that like this is harassment. It's not harassment. So again, like I said, they use fake outrage. And another thing you will notice with like feminists is that they can take a joke. So basically, they will take another thing that they will usually do is that when you make a joke about feminism or something, they'll take it so seriously. And they just won't understand or won't care that this is a joke, and they'll get offended by this and they'll complain about this, right? So let's take another clip and we'll see how they do this.
Another netizen who was present shared, the students reached out to touch the Aespa members, so the teacher said, you will be reported for harassment if you touch them. While this might look like it was done with the best intentions, witnesses say that this was done in a teasing manner, like touching the members without their consent is one big inside joke between them.
How dare they joke? No, joking is haram. Joking is haram in feminism. How dare they? How dare they joke about feminism? So yeah, this is like, so you can clearly see that the teacher was like kind of joking that, hey, don't touch them. If you touch them, that's going to be like assault. So there's clearly being sarcastic and being like, they're like joking, saying it in a joking manner to warn them that, hey, maybe don't do that. And they're like taking this and being like super serious and saying that, they're joking about your assault. No, it's a joke. Like the teacher is clearly being sarcastic. So making a joke is not harassment. This is funny. So, there's a video of Muhammad Hijab on Speaker's Corner where a woman like tries to shake his hand and he refuses, and she gets really upset and moves on and says that this is oppressive.
Call me Lindsay.
Oh, sorry, what's your name?
You haven't asked my name yet. I'm Angela.
No, I don't shake hands with women for religious reasons. Yeah, for religious reasons.
In that case, I don't think I can speak to you anymore.
Why? Is that what?
Because I think that's really offensive.
No, men.
No, you have a belief set and
but hold on.
Shake hands.
No, but hold on. Let me tell you something though, yeah? This is good. It shows you that they're incapable of having conversation with someone who doesn't believe in certain values. So they wouldn't be shaking hands with a tribal leader in Africa. They'd walk away from them. Because you're not allowed to shake hands with tribal leaders in Africa. If you had a Jew, you wouldn't shake hands with them because an Orthodox Jew. So in other words, if you don't believe in our liberal values the way we accept them and the way we shape them and the way then we're not going to have conversations with you. So that's intolerance. That's liberal intolerance. And I'm very happy it was on camera. Walk away. It's feministic intolerance.
So I find it really ironic with like feminists. So the feminists, they're kind of like become like the modern mullahs, right? This is why people hate feminists. So they become like modern mullahs. So where like they're saying that, you know what, you cannot touch women. Okay, fair enough. We're not gonna touch them. No, if you don't touch them, then you're being sexist. So if you touch them, you're being sexist. But if you don't touch them, then you're also sexist. So which one is it? Like, do you want us to touch them or do you not want us to touch them? Another thing that you will see is like this complete hypocrisy and double standard, right? Another example of this is they'll oftentimes overlook when girls do like this type of things, but when men do them, they will act like, oh my god, it's the end of the world, right? So let's take another example. I'm asking.
Students who were around them took pictures of Aespa walking through the crowd and uploaded them on social media with the most disgusting captions.
Now I have seen contradictory reports about this. Some news have said the boy said sexy, others said he said sex, and others said he just said XX. Now if you said sex then I'm sorry but that's not harassment, because people write all kinds of nonsense in their own social media. You can't blame the entire school of kids, just because one guy who wasn't even a student wrote something weird in his own social media platform that's completely outside the school jurisdiction. Even then the guy deleted his post, so it doesn't matter anyway. Now if you said XX that simply means hugs or kisses. Again, having a crush on a celebrity is not a crime in a secular non-religious environment. There are many examples of celebrities or pop idols talking about their crush. Now if you said sexy then let's deal with that.
So here she's saying that the students, they put up pictures and they said the captions sexy, right? They said sexy, but you can't say that girls are sexy because that's haram. Now obviously you shouldn't say that. From Islamic point of view, that is obviously haram. But the problem with feminists is that they're complete hypocrites. Okay, they're complete hypocrites. Because if a woman celebrity called another like male, young male, like I don't know, like Cheney or whatever, sexy, then they would have no issues with this. Okay, so they clearly want privilege. They don't just want equality. This is just a myth. So there's another clip and I want to show you guys where you can see another female idol. Her name is Lisa. She's from this group called Blackpink. She was on a reality show where she called one of the participants on the reality show. She was asked, like, was this performance sexy? And she said, yes, this performance was sexy. So let's take a look at this clip and I'm gonna...
看到你的那个 sexy 的舞蹈的部分，它有 sexy 吗？
sexy ค่ะแต่ว่า
reality shows are so cringe. But anyway, so here in this video, she was saying that the performance was sexy. Now, if we use their logic, then this is clearly harassment. This is clearly disgusting, right? So Lisa is doing something disgusting. Then how come you didn't have an issue with this? How come you didn't raise red flags or like went to town on this idol? Why the double standard? How is this consistent? Because you clearly don't have an issue when women do this. Okay, and you're clearly taking issues when men do this.
One of them particularly raised many concerns as a student from the school uploaded a picture of Ning Ning's back and wrote, "Did everything but touch them." I'm gonna need these students to think about their words for a bit. No normal person writes captions like these.
Here she is being completely inconsistent. So in the beginning she clearly said the boys touching the girls were bad. So when this boy says I didn't touch them, shouldn't she have praised the boy or applaud him for doing the right thing? Yet she never acknowledged this as if it's nothing, and went on to complain anyway. If she was consistent with her moral views then she should have said the boy did the right thing. However, she never said that. This shows she's not consistent with her moral views, and contradicts herself in a way by not acknowledging this. In other words, this is a type of ad hoc rescue fallacy. Now let me be charitable, and say maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, when she says, when the boy said I did everything but touch them, she meant to say, that the boy meant something sexual by this. However, even then it doesn't make sense, because the boy was saying he didn't touch them, then how can this be something sexual? It's very much possible he's simply saying, that he got their autograph, or took their pics, but didn't touch them. We have no reason to think this is meant to be something sexual or weird. Only if you think all boys in the world are pervert could you conclude something like this. Either way, it's a non sequitur.
When Aespa got on stage to perform, the lack of security there was even more terrifying. It turns out that there was nothing standing in the way of the stage and the audience. A group of students were seen jumping on stage to Aespa and asking to take pictures with them. Mind you, this wasn't planned, so the members were taken aback. But since they're female idols and would be torn to shreds by netizens if they refused to take selfies with the students, they did it even though they must have been terrified. A Twitter user claimed, Aespa still took selfies with them because they couldn't refuse. One is reportedly not even a student there.
Okay, so I find this hilarious. So if you look at the video, you can clearly see the girls. They're laughing. They're laughing, having the time of their life. But their fans are complaining, "Oh, this is evil. This is horrible. This is stupid." Since when in a non-religious kind of celebrity setting is this wrong to take pictures with your favorite celebrity? So again, you can clearly see this is fake outrage. This is not harassment. I mean, how is this harassment? And then we come to the last point. And this point is very, very serious because you see this all the time, which is that feminists love to bully and harass people. Okay?
School, as expected, uploaded an apology following all the backlash. This, though, seems more like an attempt to restore their quote-unquote good reputation than an actual sincere apology for not doing better to protect the girls against their own students. Plus, the fact that teachers joined in on the inappropriate comments should be enough reason to get the whole school inspected, then shut down.
Wait, so let me get this straight. So she wants an entire school shut down because a bunch of students were taking pictures of celebrities. Are you serious? Are you serious? It's absolutely nothing. And the scary part is that this can actually happen because people can actually lose their job based on this false accusation and this type of exaggerated arguments, this type of exaggerated accusations. This can actually happen in real life, and that's exactly what happened with Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp is a millionaire celebrity. Okay, so he lost a lot of movie deals. He lost it because his ex-wife made a bunch of claims against him that there was no evidence for, and he lost it. He lost all of his movie deals. He lost pretty much his career. I mean, do you think that making this type of claims is a joke? I mean, how would you feel if I said that you should be kicked off of YouTube because, you make false accusations and stuff like this? Would you like that? Of course not. So recently an article came out where a parent of these students begged the fans of these Aespa members to stop harassing and bullying the students. On May 3rd, on an online community, a post titled Aespa fans are asked to take down their post by the family of the student related to the Gongbok High School controversy. It says the following. One Aespa fan tweeted, "It's really embarrassing. Is your family the only thing you care about? They did ridiculous harassment to other members who even went to your kids' school and performed their best on the stage. Didn't you think about feelings of the members who went through it all? How selfish and shameless. I don't understand why they say they're afraid of what they've committed. This is so ridiculous." So then the parent, they said the following. The messages which then released said, "I'm the family of the student involved in Gongbok High School incident. Your post is so influential that when it is retweeted and spread, people are posting unacceptable words along with the student's real names. The student is going through something far beyond just reflecting on his mistake and has to undergo psychological treatment as he is experiencing a scary situation that he never experienced before." So you can clearly see these students are facing harassment to an unprecedented degree over nothing because they did absolutely nothing wrong. And they're being harassed by this feminist. And another thing is that you can clearly see these people are completely ruthless. Because even if you can clearly see that the boys didn't do anything wrong, but the parent is literally begging to them to take the post down because the boys are being harassed. And their response, these feminists and these Aespa sycophants, their response is, no, I mean they should reflect and be harassed. That's their response. Now this is absolutely disgusting. Now, this is why feminism is toxic. This is why you should reject feminism. It's a toxic ideology. bullies people, it harasses people, it creates division and hatred among people, and it ruins people's life. This is why you should never be a feminist. This is why you should reject feminism.
By the way, this completely goes against what Islam teaches. Islam teaches us to be loving and compassionate. There is a verse in the Quran in chapter 90 verse 17 where Allah Almighty says, "And then being among those who believed and advised one another to patience, and advised one another to compassion." Ibn Kathir when commenting on this verse said meaning, he was from the believers who worked righteous deeds, and advised each other to be patient with the harms of the people, and to be merciful with them. Meaning these are the people who receive the decree on right hand, and goes to paradise. However, feminism teaches the opposite. Feminism teaches you to be aggressive and spiteful, or at least it always leads to that. This is how feminism goes against Islam.
I walked behind the bar, and there was a larger bottle of vodka, the kind with the handle, on it. I grabbed that and I went and I sat in my seat again. I opened the bottle and I poured myself a shot. Drank it. Miss Heard was flinging insults left, right, and center, and she then grabbed that bottle and threw that at me. I honestly didn't feel the pain at first at all. I felt no pain whatsoever. What I felt was, I felt heat. I felt heat, and I felt as if something were dripping down my hand, and then I looked down and realized that the tip of my finger had been severed.
So yeah, that was like a testimony of like Johnny Depp, and this is so bizarre to me. So this woman literally threw like a vodka bottle at him, and that like severed his finger, and his finger was literally cut off, and then they had to like perform a surgery. And then this woman pretended to be the victim. This is absurd. I mean, what planet do we live in? And that's the thing. Like, feminists have gained so much power that they can literally say and do anything. And this is why feminism should be rejected by everyone. It's a toxic ideology. It creates hatred and just toxicity among people. And it's just disgusting what it is. It's clearly a toxic ideology. If you like the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Also, if you like my content and you want to support me, then please consider becoming a member, or you can support me on Patreon by becoming a patron. You can see the end card here. So this is how I end this video. Thank you guys for watching. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.